another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day, a good weekend. It's Saturday, November 13th. Tomorrow's my son's birthday. I thought I'd missed it because I thought it was on the 4th, but that just didn't seem right. So now I'm like wondering what in the hell was on the 4th that was important. So, yep, this crazy mixed up world in which we live in. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. I caught you on a Saturday. I guess I know your day off. Welcome, dude. It's good to see you on here. Don't anticipate too many people on Facebook. Most of my friends are out and about right now. It's a nice day out. Out doing stuff, right? Living life. That's what the book tells us to do on page 164. Tells us, okay, you got what you need. Now go live your life and enjoy it. Have fun. Give back freely of what you have found, and you will surely meet some of us as we trudge the happy road of destiny. Man, I feel like I've been given a gift that just lasts a lifetime, man. And I'm exceptionally grateful for my life. I'm broke. I'm broke and happy, man. Got everything I need. Got a roof over my head. Got plenty of food. I got enough food here to feed a freaking army, you know? It's just I'm lazy and I don't cook. I'm not big on food. I'll make, there could be a turkey or ramen, and I'll make the ramen because it's easier. And I'll just have turkey ramen. So, oh man, right, Jeff? All right. If you're here, whether you're watching live or the rewatch, please say hello. I'm sure I'll grab somebody on Facebook, but otherwise it's the Jeff and Dion show right now. But let's get into it then. Saturdays isn't my big days. It's funny. Mondays and Tuesdays is where I seem to get most of my people. So, all right. I'm actually reading from February 29th in Daily Reflections. Save for a few brief moments of temptation, the thought of drink has never returned. And at such times, a great revulsion has risen up in him. Seemingly, he could not even drink, even if he would. God has restored his sanity. And that's in the Big Book, page 57. Man. Yeah, whenever I think of alcohol or think of me drinking alcohol, which isn't very often, I'm doing it right now, though, because I'm talking about it, it makes me sick to my stomach. I don't want any part of it. I remember I remember them clearly. I remember feeling like I just had a gleam of sweat on me at all times. I was always shaking. And because of that, even if I knew what it is that I knew, I wouldn't be taken seriously. I remember I had done 2 years of work, and we finally went to federal court, and everything that I had practiced for never even came up. It was just about whether Dion was drunk at the time or not. And that's all they focused on was my alcoholism. Then I promptly went out and had a drink. Page 57, just making sure. Yeah. God does relieve you of the temptation. And it is the greatest miracle that could ever happen, losing that obsession, right? And then what's cool is when I learn about losing the obsession of that, then I lose the obsession of other things. But let's go here. Let's so it's a story, but it's kind of a short one. So here we go. Our friend was a minister's son. He attended church school where he became rebellious at what he had thought an overdose of religious education. For years thereafter, he was dogged by trouble and frustration, business failure, insanity, fatal illness, suicide. These calamities in his immediate family embittered and depressed him. Post-war delusionment, ever more serious alcoholism, impending mental and physical collapse brought him to the point of self-destruction. One night, when confined in a hospital, he was approached by an alcoholic who had known a spiritual experience. Our friend's gorge rose as he bitterly cried out, "If there is a God, he certainly hasn't done anything for me." But later, alone in his room, he asked himself this question: is it possible that all the religious people I have known are wrong? While pondering the answer, he felt as though he lived in hell. Then, like a thunderbolt, a great thought came. It crowded out all else. Who are you to say there is no God? Right? Hi, Jackie. I got 2 people on Instagram. That's a record for me. It's awesome. I don't care. I got somebody on Facebook. Say hi if you want to. All right. This man recounts that he stumbled out of bed and to his knees. In a few seconds, he was overwhelmed by the conviction of the presence of God. And anybody that's been through this or had a spiritual experience, you're feeling this right now with me. It poured over and through him with a certainty and a majesty of a great tide at flood. The barriers he had built through the years were swept away. He stood in the presence of an infinite power and love. There wasn't anything else left. Everything else had just been stripped from him. He had stepped from the bridge of shore. For the first time, he lived in the conscious companionship of his Creator. Companionship with his Creator. Thus was our friend's cornerstone fixed in place. No later vicissitude has shaken it. What is that cornerstone? It's steps 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 4. Okay. It says in step 3 that we will walk through the new and triumphant cornerstone. And that's what they're talking about here. See, in this case, his spiritual experience happened immediately. It was sudden. And a lot of times it's how you read these. But a lot of us have that spiritual experience, and it comes over time, but we still have the same experience. Okay? We still get that same feeling. I appreciate the ones that happen through time. I learn a little bit more. I don't like the sudden ones. They make me very uncomfortable. It happens sometimes where God's just like, hey, here's a revelation and a 2x4 upside your head. And suddenly I'm somewhere else doing something that God wants me to do. His alcoholic problem was taken away. That very night, years ago, it disappeared. Save for a few brief moments of temptation, the thought of drink has never returned. And at such great times, a great revulsion has risen up in him. Seemingly, he could not drink even if he would. God has restored his sanity. But what is this but a miracle of healing? Yet its elements are simple. Circumstances made him willing to believe. He humbly asked himself to his Maker. Then he knew. Even so, God has restored us to all. Even so has God restored us all to our right minds. You guys know what I'm going to say on this. Did you do this part? Hey, Jill, it's good to see you, honey. Did you do this part? Did you say, yes, God, it's okay to restore me to sanity now? Are you okay with being restored to sanity? Some people fight this. And awakening is a beautiful experience anytime during your journey. Absolutely. Sometimes we have small miracles, sometimes they're big miracles. Miracle is a miracle in my book, right? And I find that our miracles are a little bit different. The fact that we celebrate the fact that somebody showered every single day for the week. That's a big deal with what we do, right? We alcoholics can get lazy. I freaking stunk. I stunk. There you go. Are you willing to be restored to sanity? I guess that's the question, huh? You want it. Because you're going to get it one way or another. All right. Even so, God, to this man, the revelation was sudden. Some of us grow into it more slowly, but he has come to all who have honestly sought him. When we drew near to him, he disclosed himself to us. That means he made himself present. He made himself available. Cool thing is it doesn't matter when it is. God's available. The word God was frightening to me when I first saw it associated with AA's 12 steps. Having tried all the means I could to stop drinking, I found that it was not possible for me to sustain that desire over a period of time. Yet how could I believe in a God that allowed me to sink so deep in despair that engulfed me, whether drinking or dry? Because God gave you a brain to use and he ain't going to stop you. If you have decided to go against his plan, he ain't going to come down and stop you unless you are listening. Right? You have to be listening. The answer was in finally admitting that it might be possible for me to know the mercy of a power greater than myself who could grant me sobriety, contingent on my willingness to come to belief. By finally admitting that I was one among many, and by following the example of my sponsor and other AA members in practicing faith, I did not have my life as I'm lost. Okay, by finally admitting that I was one among many, and by following the example of my sponsor and other AA members in practicing faith, I did not have my life has been given meaning, direction, and purpose. Okay, so they did not have. There should have been a comma in there. That's why it threw me off. So going to meetings and recognizing things in other people that is good for your program, right? And then spending time with those people, intentional time, you know? And it doesn't, we don't always have to sit down and read the big book together or do things like that. Go bowling, man. Some friends went out last night. They went to Sober Underground, went dancing. They had a great time. You got to get out there and have some fun, man. Or life's just going to drive you crazy. Right? Now, you know, we get to a point, and now it's time to get out of the house and go see the forest for the trees. You know, to do some work. So, are you willing to let God restore you to sanity? All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. I will be back tomorrow for the daily reflection. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.